In today's video, I am going to be breaking down different 4-out basketball plays that you can run very successfully against a man-to-man. Some of these will work against zones. However, today we are focusing on man-to-man defense because there's a lot of ways that you can exploit man-to-man with this offense. So let's get down. Let's check this out really quickly. If you want an unbeatable defense, make sure to go check out my unbeatable basketball zone defense book that is down in the description below because it doubles the low post and traps the corners without leaving anybody open. So definitely go check that out if you're looking to destroy basketball teams. So let's get down. Let's check out these 4-out basketball plays. I personally prefer to start in a 5-out, but that's just me. You can start straight into the 4-out if you want. How that'll look is roughly generally like this, where you'll have basically your guys playing super wide. You could even call this 4-corner as well if you wanted, but I personally call this 4-out because we got 4 guys outside of the 3-point line. If you were to start this in a 5-out, if player 5 went to the high post, 2 has to move down, 1 has to dribble over towards that right side. But player 5 is going to pick a side. He's not going to go straight in the middle. He's going to pick a side. Now, when this happens, we're going to see the defense shift like this. Obviously, player 4 is in help. This guy is 1 big step away. This guy is generally man on, but sometimes may give a little bit of distance. And player 3 will be in position, generally inside the 3-point line at youth levels. However, still about 1 pass or 1 big step away. He wants to be there to be able to intercept those passes. So by getting that ball into the high post, because that's the whole idea behind my 4-out plays that I like to run, is now if that lifts player 2 just a bit too high, where now he's looking at the ball and player 2 is not being looked at or watched by player 2, then right away this could be a backdoor cut. You can go read and react where now when it comes down to the players reacting to how the defense is playing them. Personally, one of the best plays that I like to run is once that entry pass is made into the high post, both 3 and 1 will cut to the rim and players 2 and 4 will lift to the free throw line extended. What happens here is off of these cuts, player 4 will usually move out of the way because now he's worried about player 4 blue getting that ball. If in this case 1 or 3 are wide open, player 5 needs to be able to hit them up with a pass. And this is a very successful play, and if ran correctly, it can get you a ton of points. If they're not open, let's say the defenders played them extremely well. At this time, player 2 is lifting, player 1 is going to then clear out, player 3 is going to clear out. The ball is still in the high post. However, if he can make the pass out to player 2, or make the pass out to player 4, or even to player 1, those are options that we want to see. Let's say he passes the ball to player 2. At this time, we would have a screen and roll with player 2. And once that screen and roll happens, there's many different options because now if player 2 is attacking the middle of the paint, this could draw player 4 in, which would be a kick out for a 3. We could have player 5 rolling, and let's say, for example, we have player 5 roll. They may call a switch. And let's say or maybe they didn't call a switch, whatever. Let's say they were able to get player 5 open, then he can get that ball. However, player 1 may be trying to jam that pass from happening to player 5, and because player 5 just left that wing spot, we need player 1 to lift, which would then give player 1 a wide open 3-point shot. Let's say, for example, he passed to player 4 instead. He can set a screen for player 4. This will be obviously a screen and roll. And then player 4 is going to use that screen and he's going to try and attack that paint once again. We always want to have paint touches. If they switch or if they don't switch, whatever. Player 5 is rolling towards the basket. He may be open for a pass. If they're trying to jam from this side, which would be a mistake, we can kick the ball out to there. If they try to jam from here, we can do a pass out to this corner, and that would be a 3. If they try and, let's say, jam up the middle when player 4 tries to drive, he can kick the ball out to player 2 for a 3. Or let's say, for example, player 5 still has that ball. We've gone back to having that ball into that high post. If he was to pass out to player 1, he can now set that screen on player 1. And I really like corner screens. This is just something that I love. This is my favorite type of screen because now we could have these guys rotate over to really clear that side out if that pass was to happen, so that now when they set this screen and roll, then when player 1 uses that, now he has a ton of options. Because if player 5 is rolling, and let's say he's able to get that ball into player 5, this could be a layup. If help was there, this could be a kick out, rotate, kick out, or swing, and then 3. There's a lot of different options there. He could score. That's another option. Player 1 could also score as well. If player 2 came over, let's say he was playing help and now he's trying to recover and try to block that ability to shoot, he could pass to player 2 for a 3. If they rotate over, pass, rotate, pass. See how the defense starts shifting and moving, all because of that corner screen. Now we can get some open shots. And this is all just from one single play. Now, when this entry pass goes into the high post, we could also run a pin down screen instead of cutting. So before the last play, these guys cut. Now instead, they are going to set the pin down screens for the corner players. Now, this is very useful because now what can happen is player 3 is lifting, player 4 is lifting. When these players lift, they could be wide open. If they're wide open, they could take that 3-point shot. After this roll happens, or this screen, player 2 should roll. We also want to see player 1 roll towards the basket as well. This could be a pass down to these guys for an easy layup. So now we're not just looking at 3 options, we're looking at 2 options as well. What I find super successful after these guys roll is if they cross, if they don't get the pass, which would then bring their defenders out with them. But when this happens, a lot of the times, these defenders right here, what will happen is they don't cross all the way and they stay in the paint, which can then leave, because of course, defenders, they'll get tired or they'll get lazy or whatever, things happen. And at this time, player 5 could kick out for the wide open 3. After those guys roll, and let's say player 5 passes out to player 3, player 5 could also set a screen for another player, which would then have player 4 wide open attacking down the middle of the lane. If he gets that ball and this collapses these guys, if he doesn't have the option to score, he could kick it out to these corners. So now, the easiest way to remember a play like this is after you either set those down screens or after you cut, depending on the play that you're running, the postman just needs to pass the ball out to a perimeter player, and then he just has to set a screen for that man or a different player altogether. That is the secret to this offense. It's super simple, super easy to run, and it gives you different options. I hope that this play helps your team win more games. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again next time. Make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below.